channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So first off, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, click the bell button so you're notified when I post new videos. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers, so go ahead and do that if you haven't already. And if you are already subscribed, share my channel with a friend, someone who you think would like to see my videos. August is actually going to be my 5-year anniversary of being on YouTube, and I would love to hit 4,000 subscribers by then. So if you want to go ahead and help me out, that would be fantastic. Be sure to come follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see more of me, more of my content on there. Check me out. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirlkat there. So today we are doing what has turned into a bit of a series on my channel, but I'm honestly really, really happy about it. I've been having so much fun doing these videos, and you guys seem to be liking them. They've been some of my most watched videos recently, which gives me a good indication that you guys are interested. So this series, my honest thoughts on new clean makeup. And there have been so many releases in the clean beauty space. I've been doing these videos kind of often. It's a great chance for me to be able to review and share with you a bunch of new makeup releases all in one video. And I want to first start off by saying that today I had hoped to talk about the MOB Beauty cream blushes because you guys know I love MOB Beauty. I also love cream blushes, and like that launch was like two things that I love married together. However, I have not talked about them at all because I don't have them yet. A lot of videos that you're going to be seeing are going to be pre-filmed because I'm actually going to be doing quite a bit of traveling in the next couple of weeks, which is super exciting. My husband and I are fully vaccinated, and so we are choosing to do some kind of like safe trips, mostly around New England. We're going to be going to the Berkshires soon, which I love. We're also going to be going up to Maine, to Portland, which, you know, it's drivable for us, so it's nice. We are going to be going out to Cape Cod too for a long weekend. And then what's actually coming out first and I'm most excited about is we're going to Florida. I have not gone down to Florida since end of February of 2020. My parents were able to come up and see us back in May, but this will be my first time going down to see them. They've actually moved cities, moved from one side of Florida to the other side of Florida, bought a condo, sold the childhood house that I grew up in. I have not even seen the condo, so like I'm very excited. But with that being said, my filming schedule is a little messed up. My posting schedule might get a little messed up, but that's why. I got a lot of exciting things going on. But sorry for that kind of long introduction, but it's a little bit of a life update of what's going on. So now we'll jump into the meat of this video. So I do have a few new products I'm going to be talking about. In general, this video is going to be a little shorter because I just don't have as many as I normally do for one of these videos, but I've got enough to make a video out of it. So we're going to be talking about those. I don't have any foundation on today because we're going to be talking about this. This is the 14E Aloe Nourish Sheer Tint SPF 10. And you may be saying, Kat, this isn't a new release. It isn't, but it is at the same time. So 14E kind of underwent a little bit of a rebrand. They redid their packaging and they also updated the formulas of their a lot of their products. I don't think they changed the formula of their setting powder. I did have to purchase a new setting powder, so I did do that. But they've updated the formulas of their foundations, I believe, also their blushes as well. It's been years since I tried this out, and since they launched a new formula, I thought I would give it another shot. I have the sheer tint in the shade 01, which is Seashell. I think this is like the second shade up. I think there's Birch and then Seashell. This shade works really well for me. It is definitely more of a sheer foundation, but I do really like it. I'm going to apply this for us today so we can see what it looks like. I was a little bit mistaken. I thought that the, like an eyelash almost stuck to my forehead. I thought that the sheer, what is this called? The sheer tint had a higher SPF, but it's only SPF 10. Maybe it used to have a higher SPF, or maybe I'm just mixed up. I would have liked this product to have a little bit of a higher SPF factor, because one of the main reasons I wanted to purchase it, because I'm going on all these little trips, and I've learned about myself that I like to wear more sheer, kind of easy makeup, especially when I'm on vacation. I want things that I can throw on really quickly. And while I am putting this on top of, you know, a higher SPF, like an actual SPF, I did want my kind of base product to have a bit of SPF in it to just kind of give me a little bit of extra protection, because, you know, Florida, Cape Cod, these are all places, you know, where you're going to be out in the sun. And I just wanted a bit of extra, well, in the Berkshires too, and so I just wanted a bit of extra protection. And you may say, oh, you could use the Ilia, what is it? The Ilia, the one that's SPF 40. But the problem for me is that that foundation is too, it's too dewy for me to wear during the summer. I call it my winter foundation, which is really funny because it would be ideal with the SPF to use during the summer, but it's too much on my oily skin. So I do like this product. As you can see, the coverage is really quite sheer, but it does even out my skin tone, and I do like that. It wears pretty well on me throughout the day. I had remembered the foundation used to break up on me, but this one I feel like does hold up pretty well. And I think being more of a sheer product, it does help it to hold up better. Like I said, I would have liked for it to have a higher SPF, but overall, I'm happy with it. It is a little bit on the dewy side, but it's not overly dewy, and I can set it with the 14A setting powder, which is one of the best setting powders that I've ever found. Overall, I like this product. It will definitely be one that I will bring with me on my vacations because I feel like this is exactly what I'm looking for. Just like a little bit of coverage. It's got a tiny bit of extra SPF. Would it have been nice to have a bit more? Yes, but I do like it. And you know, if you're looking for a nice sheer foundation product, I would recommend this. It's really nice in that it's aloe vera based. I don't think it has any coconut products in it too, which is nice because I know a lot of foundations will, and you know, that can irritate your skin. It certainly can irritate mine sometimes. So I think this is really nice, really lovely. I've been enjoying this, and yeah, I like the new packaging. I like the rebrand overall, and 14E is just a great, great brand. Okay, I'm gonna apply some more makeup and then we'll jump in for the next product for me to talk about. And now we're gonna move on to bronzer, and I have a brand new bronzer. I'm sure you guys aren't surprised that I'm trying this out. This is the Saie Beauty bronzer. It's a cream bronzer, and I have the shade Light Bronze, which is the lightest shade of this bronzer, and I have been testing this out for a while. So first off, we all know that I have fallen head over heels in love with the new Tower 28 bronzer shade. The shade is Suncoast, and I want to start off by saying that I prefer the shade of Suncoast better. Like, we just are operating purely on shade basis. The shade Suncoast is a better shade for me and my fair skin. Okay, so up here is the shade Suncoast of Tower 28. Down here is the shade Light Bronze of the Saie Beauty bronzer. They're both cream bronzers. They look completely different. The Tower 28 bronzer, as you can see, is much more of a glowy bronzer. It's also much more golden in tone. It's not red, it's not orange. It's very much like a golden bronzer. And I have fair porcelain skin. And if you have a skin tone similar to mine, I feel like the shade Suncoast of the Tower 28 bronzer is like the ideal bronzer shade for us, like super pale, possibly ghost, possibly vampire people. Like, that's what that shade is. And the Tower 28 bronzer is much more kind of reddy, peachy, and undertone, which I don't love. Like, if I could take this bronzer and create a shade of it that's more similar to the Tower 28 bronzer, I would be all about that. But even though the shade of the new Saie Beauty bronzer is not quite my cup of tea, I actually really like the formula of it. The Tower 28 bronzer, like their cream blush, like their highlight, is a very creamy emollient product. It doesn't really dry down that much. I find that the Saie Beauty bronzer is a little bit more of a cream, I mean, it's not purely a cream to powder, but it's a little bit more of a cream to powder product. And especially on these super hot days like today, which, by the way, if you can hear my air conditioning running, I apologize, but I'm trying to not like completely roast. So on super hot days like today, this bronzer is going to hold up a lot better on my skin. But I just have to be a lot more careful and judicious in how I'm applying it because the shade can get out of control really quickly on me. So that's my only downside of it, is the shade isn't quite right. It's not off, so much off that it's unusable for me, but it definitely could use a little bit of a lighter shade, especially for us, you know, super fair people. So Saie Beauty, if you're watching this, well, actually, if I will say this, if any brand is interested in developing a shade of anything for someone with super fair skin, I would be 100% down to help consult on a shade, because I've tried a lot of makeup and a lot of products that don't work for fair skin. And I feel like I have a really good understanding of like what shades work well. So yeah, Saie Beauty, or anyone ever wants to come up with a fair shade, let me know. I'd be glad to help. But that being said, if they came out with like a fair bronze, ooh, that would be perfect. But right now we can make this work. So I would say if you have like a more of a light to light skin tone, that this shade will work better. But if you're on the fair side, you just have to be careful. That being said though, I am going to apply it, and I do think it looks really nice on, and it gives you this really nice bronze shade, and it's not at all glittery. So if you want more of a kind of matte bronze situation, this is really good, but you just have to keep in mind that the shade is, you know, definitely a little bit more on the kind of deep side and a little bit on the red side, which not my favorite. And I should mention that I actually applied this bronzer on top of my already powdered foundation, and I don't have any problems blending it out or anything. And I find that putting it on top of my powdered face actually just helps the bronzer stay in place even better throughout the day. One question for you guys. I have been super curious about the tinted SPF from Saie Beauty. However, I'm a little bit afraid to try it because I have super oily skin, and I'm worried that it's just going to cause me to be an oil slick throughout the day. So if you have tried that product and have oily skin, or if you've tried the product and have normal skin, or whatever, and you have thoughts about whether or not that would work well for me, let me know in the comment section down below because I am curious. So now we're going to move on to eyes. And for eyes today, I do have some new products. I picked up some of the new PYT eye products. I have their eyeshadow primer and their palette. So PYT Beauty underwent a bit of a rebrand. They kind of redid a number of their products, changed a number of them. Some of them seem pretty much the same, but just in new packaging. And then they released new products like the eye primer. And I thought about purchasing a lot of the products in the brand and trying out a whole bunch of them. But then I realized I'm getting to this point where I'm only really trying to purchase products that I think I will actually use. And I'm trying to be more curated about what I'm bringing into my collection. Part of that also is I'm going to be doing a big makeup declutter. I'm going through each category of makeup. We're going to have a little series. I'm going to talk about what products I'm decluttering, all of that. So be sure to, be sure you're subscribed so you see that. And if I have any of those videos posted, I will be sure to link those up above. But with that being said, I'm trying to kind of focus in on products that I actually want to use and feel like would use. So for me, when I was looking at the line, I was like, eyeshadow palette and eyeshadow primer. These are products I would use. So the eyeshadow primer, part of the reason I tried this is, unfortunately, Aaron's Faces has discontinued their primer, and I am trying to find us the best eye primer to make up for that one. Hopefully at some point Aaron's Faces will bring the primer back, but for now I'm trying to find us the best dupe. So I picked this up in hopes that this would do it. Unfortunately, I have to say this primer does not meet my standards at all for primers. The Jason Wu primer is a better dupe for the Aaron's Faces than this one. This one is tinted. I do have some of it squeezed out on my finger there. You can see that it is tinted. And I am going to apply this on my lids today. This eye primer is tacky. So what it does is it makes your eyelids kind of sticky and helps the eyeshadow like stick that way and really intensifies the eyeshadow because of the stickiness. The Aaron's Faces eye primer never really intensified things that much, but this one definitely does intensify the shadows. Reminds me of the Lima Pure eye primer in that way. That's kind of tacky. But I have found that it does not help with longevity of shadows at all. I've tried it with the PYT Beauty eyeshadows. I've tried it with other eyeshadows. It does not help with the longevity of the shadows. So if you have oily hooded eyelids and you need an eye primer to really help your eyeshadow stay in place for a long time, this unfortunately does not cut it. Okay, so with the palette, I am very disappointed by this palette. I think the formula of the original eye palettes is superior to this one. Part of the rebrand too is that it's supposed to be more environmentally friendly and like their packaging and stuff, but it's also still all plastic. So, and it's not refillable either. So I'm honestly not really sure why they did this rebrand. They released, I think, 4 palettes. This is the Rowdy Rose Nude Eyeshadow Palette. And here's the thing. The metallics in this palette are not good at all. You can see there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and they do not hold up to my standards. They're chalky, they're not buttery, like it's just not that good of a situation. They're gonna look better on my eyes because I put them, I'm gonna put them down over that primer. You can see them, I swatched the 3 metallics there. They're gonna look better on my eyes than they are on these swatches because the eye primer really does help to intensify them. So the only saving grace of this is the eye primer itself, but the shadows are not good. You know, a couple of years ago, when I first started out in the clean beauty space, I would have been happy with this palette. I would have said it's good. But here's the thing. We have so many other palettes that have much better eyeshadow formulas. There's just so many palettes that have so much of a better formula in terms of their metallics and also in their mattes too. The mattes in this one are fine, but the metallics, they're just glittery. They're not buttery. They feel really dry when you're swatching them. And yeah, they just don't look great. I would say definitely with this palette and with the eyeshadow primer, just pass on them. I'm going to do an eye look using this palette, but it's just not that good of a palette. Nor is the eyeshadow primer that good. Yeah, you can see on my eyes this shade here. This is the shade here. I think this is shade 2. Looks a lot better on my lids because the eyeshadow primer is intensifying it. But, you know, an eyeshadow should be able to perform without the eyeshadow primer. Like, it shouldn't need the eyeshadow primer to intensify it. And yeah, because of that, this just does not hold up to my standard for eyeshadows at all. And it's such a shame because the original palette just had, both of the palettes just had a better formula. I know they took talc out of their formula, so maybe I don't know enough about formulation to know if like that was the reason why, but I don't know. Whatever it was, this is not a good situation. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a couple of the mattes and blend them in my eyes. The mattes are fine. Yeah, they're fine. They, you know, apply color, I can blend them pretty easily, but they're not outstanding either. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I just do not think this eyeshadow palette is worth it. So my eye look looks fine. So I'm gonna apply some mascara quickly and then I will meet you back and we'll talk about lips. Okay, so now we are back to talk about lips. And the lip product, the new lip product that is launched is from Ilia, and this is the balmy tint from Ilia. Ilia used to, way back in the day, Ilia used to have these like lip balms. I remember the shade Arabian Nights that's like singed in my brain of like a shade I used to have and wear a lot. But this is before they had the color block lipsticks. This is like before they kind of like, I would almost say like rebranded. Like Ilia was a different brand back in the day and they brought back this product. This is very similar to what they originally had. And in fact, I think it's on the Ilia website or on their Instagram. They show pictures of like the old shades versus the new shades. So if there was like an old shade of the balmy tint that you loved and you want to try and find it in a similar shade in the new shades, go check that out. That was really helpful. But I picked up the shade Heartbeats, which is this kind of like red balmy shade. I love these kind of red balms, especially for the summertime. They just give this like really nice wash of red to the lips, but are so much lower maintenance than wearing like a red lipstick. And so I really been loving this. I've been wearing it. I'm going to go ahead and apply it, show you what it looks like, but it's not as intense in color and pigment and as opaque as their color block lipsticks, but it still gives a beautiful lasting wash of color. I mean, it will fade on you, but especially with these darker colors, they tend to kind of stain your lips a little bit. And I really have been enjoying this. It's just perfect for that easy breezy makeup. So if you are missing those balmy tints like I was, they're back. Yeah, this color is so pretty, and this is definitely going to be a product that I'm going to bring on me on vacation because, you know, we're going out to dinner. I want to look a little bit put together. You know, I've been wearing really light makeup throughout the day. I just threw on this lip color and it's like, whoop, she's ready. She looks put together. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to my channel, check me out on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!